So let's talk about our next self-defense strike. We're actually going to combine two of them into one segment. So the next self-defense strike is going to be my finger poke and then a face rake. Now, these two strikes are very effective. Now, I wear contacts, so if anything gets in my contact at any point during the day, I have to stop what I'm doing and address my contact. If I take my fingers and put them in my adversary's eyes, it's going to be much worse than me getting a piece of hair in my contact. And that's going to allow you to get away to safety. So when I'm doing my finger poke, if I'm coming to the eyes, I just throw my fingers into his eye. I don't throw two, I throw all of them because I want to make sure I'm just making contact. If I'm coming to the throat, I make sure I put my fingers together more like a spear, put it on him, and then come forward like that. Now I do just throw in. So I can either use my finger poke to come to the eyes or to the throat. The great thing about the finger poke is I can still use it effectively even if I'm moving backwards. So the other strikes, I need a good base. I need to be able to throw it to get maximum power. With the finger poke, he can be pushing me backwards and I can still throw my fingers to the eye, which make this strike magical and very delicious in any self-defense situation. So what I want to do with this is I want to throw my fingers towards his eyes like this. I can use either my lead hand or my backhand. And that's the same for all of them. But the thing I like about this is when I throw my finger poke to the eyes with my lead hand, I can follow it up with another strike, such as a hammer fist to my adversary. So the places we're throwing the finger poke is the eyes or the throat. Now let's talk about that face rake. So when I'm doing a face rake to my adversary, all I'm doing is taking my hand and making a claw. All right? I'm going to take my fingers, especially if you have nails, ladies. You take your claw, your face rake, and come straight down your adversary. So you're hitting skin, you're hitting his eyes. It's a really good technique to get away quickly. And we talk about that with the finger poke because you're able to finger poke with one and then face rake again. Now when I teach this course to colleges or even businesses, I tell people that, you know, if you're getting attacked maybe at night and you don't see your adversary, especially on like a college campus, but you use that face rake to come down on their face, you're going to leave identifiable marks, scratches straight down. So now if my adversary understands that and he knows that he has the identifiable marks on his face, like a tattoo on your face, it might cause him just to flee the altercation, which is great. The other thing, say I'm in a college class and I know somebody attacked me and I use the face rake that Sensei Mark told me to use, and now sitting next to me is somebody in class who has the scratch marks on them. It's identifiable and could lead to you know, that person getting arrested or questioned or whatever. So the face rake leaves those identifiable marks that's really beneficial in self-defense. The basic thing with the face rake is to make the claw dig in and come straight down. Again, this will work if you're going back. This will work if you're against the wall. This will work in a self-defense situation where you're on the ground and you're just raking. Remember, the vital areas, the eyes, the throat, the groin. Go for them all the time. So now practicing the finger poke and the face rake on a mitt pad, what we're going to do is we're going to face our partner, keep our hands here, and I want to go for speed on this, coming in straight. Now, I don't want you to hurt your fingers, so go slow first so you understand the resistance of that pad. I'm coming in, I'm popping. Now, I'm like a snake, coming in, right? You can make that sound too. It sounds pretty cool. Might scare your guy. So from here, you're coming through in here. Then I'm going to take my claw and come straight down. Now, if you're working on the pad, you don't really want to claw the pad because you're going to rip the fabric, but you can kind of come right before it. So if I'm here, I'm practicing. Coming right through. Pop, pop, and bang. You can still see I'm still using my mechanics from my other strikes to add effectiveness to these strikes as well. So let's look at that finger poke and that face rake from the other angle. So if I'm in my self-defense stance, I'm using my finger poke to come straight in. Then I use my face rake to claw straight down. Now, one of the reasons I love this finger poke is that say I'm in my verbal diffusing with my adversary and they're yelling at me, right? I'm really nervous, he's yelling at me. I'm like, whoa, stop, right? So I'm saying stop. As I say stop, I'm going to throw my finger poke at the same time. Now remember, we're listening to that intuition. If it tells me that I'm going to get in a physical altercation, I want to defend myself first and then run to safety. And that's important because I know that once I defend myself and he can't hurt me, I'm going to run. I don't know what his intentions are, but I do know mine. So I want to make sure I take control of the situation. So the way this would play is he's yelling at me, I get nervous, and I throw it straight to his eyes. Now I'm going to give you just another tip I want to share with you. When you're being assertive in that verbal diffusing phase and you're yelling at your adversary, so he's yelling at me, I go, stop! It causes his eyes to blink. Now, when his eyes blink, he can't see me. When he can't see me, he can't hurt me. So now we're putting everything together, and we're going to make you a really good self-defense practitioner.